Why, hello there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I heard you coming down the path and thought it would be better to greet you than watch you go by in silence. And this seemed a better greeting than stepping out into your path. I hope you'll forgive my forwardness. I don't see many people walking this path, and certainly none as lovely as you. I couldn't help but want to stop you for a spell. Is something wrong? You seem troubled. Your mother told you to be wary of strangers. Oh, of course. Forgive me. I never introduced myself. My name is Cassandra. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And you? There. We're not strangers anymore, are we? So surely your mother wouldn't mind us having a chat. Exactly. We can even keep walking if you'd like. That way, I won't distract you from your journey. So, where are you heading today? Like I said, I don't often see travelers on this path. Off to visit your sick grandmother. Is she the one who lives in the cottage past the birch grotto? I've seen it now and again when I'm out. Oh, what a sweet thing you are, making such a long journey to see her when she's not feeling well, especially on your own. Your parents must be proud to have such a dutiful child. You're far too modest, my dear. It's admirable, really. Say, you know what might lift your grandmother's spirits? Even more so than a visit from a charming creature like you, that is. Just up ahead, a little ways off the path, is the most beautiful field of wildflowers. If your grandmother is as ill as you say, then surely she isn't able to go out and see the flowers very often. I'm sure she'd be delighted if you picked a few for her. Of course, it's no trouble at all. Like I said, it's not too far off the path. It might be best if I held your hand, though. The forest floor can be uneven if you wander off the trails, and I wouldn't want you to trip and spill your basket. You don't need to worry. I know this forest like the back of my hand, and nothing that lives here would dare to hurt you with me by your side. What do I mean by that? I'm a hunter by trade. Normally I stay deeper in the woods, but I've explored it all, and there's no beast I haven't been able to kill once I put my mind to it. I'm afraid it's given me somewhat of a reputation with the forest inhabitants. They avoid me like the plague. But then again, that just makes hunting them all the more interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so morbid. I just mean that I have to be more clever about it. I can't just pick a bush to hide in and wait for them to walk by. I have to think like the animal does. Here we are. Aren't they lovely? And since nobody comes to pick them, there are enough to bring some to your grandmother every day for the rest of spring. It surprises me as well. I suppose it's just a bit too far from the path for most people to find. Would you like me to hold your cloak while you pick them? I'm sure you can already tell that this clearing gets more sun than the rest of the forest. I wouldn't want you catching heat stroke. Of course, it's no trouble at all. This is a lovely cloak. Did you make it yourself? Ah, your grandmother made it. How sweet. She's very skilled. I'm sorry to have to do this, but I just remembered I have a snare that needs checking. I hate to leave you on your own, but if there's an animal in it, it would be cruel to leave them suffering. It's not too far from here, so I promise I won't be long. Thank you for understanding. I promise I'll repay you for it. Now, you just focus on your flowers. I'll be back soon. I see you've been keeping busy. Oh, I'm sorry. I must look a mess right now. You don't need to worry. This blood isn't mine. It turns out there was an animal in my trap. More importantly, it looks as though you've finished picking your flowers. Not everyone can make a flower crown like that. What deft hands you have, my dear. It's for me. Oh, you precious little lamb. You're too kind. Would you put it on for me? Thank you. I'm truly touched you'd think of me. I'll wear it until the flowers wilt, I promise. You'll have to forgive my forwardness. I simply couldn't hold myself back any longer, and it seemed like an apt way to show my gratitude. It hardly matters. That's the first kiss of many. Now, we really should be on our way. I'd like to clean off this blood before it dries. I'm sure you can help me with that, right? What am I talking about? I'm talking about our new life together, my sweet. You're coming home with me. I have a lovely little cabin in the heart of the forest that I think you'll love. It's small, but it has everything we need. There's even space out back for a garden if you'd like. You could grow your own flowers instead of having to pick them here. Perhaps I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I forget that you're not as familiar with me as I am with you. You see, dear, I've been watching you for a long time. Watching you play by the forest's edge, or work in your little garden, or run errands for those proud parents of yours. And from the first moment, I wanted you. I wanted you more than I ever wanted anything. So I came to a decision. I was going to make you mine. That was the easy part. The hard part was deciding how to do it. I could have just stolen you off the forest path, but if I did that, then there would have been search parties. And while I could handle them on my own, it's much easier for everyone if they already think you're dead. You don't need to look so scared. I'm not going to hurt a hair on your head unless you make me. I've already done what I needed to do. Your grandmother will know if you don't reach her house. Oh, you poor sweet thing. She's not waiting for you. Not anymore. The only things waiting for you in that house are the bones on the floor and the blood on the walls. And I suppose remains of your cloak as well. Anyone who finds it will think you were killed by whatever beast killed your poor grandmother. I wouldn't lie to you, dear. If you really don't believe me, I suppose I could take you there to see for yourself. But do you really want to see what a mess I've made? Now, there's no need to cry. She didn't suffer, I promise. And she wasn't living much of a life to begin with, confined to bed like that. She's at peace now. Now, Poppet, don't get any foolish ideas. You can't outrun me. Nah, so be it. I told you you couldn't outrun me. Stop struggling. You can't get away from me. The only thing you'll do is tire yourself out and make me angry. Is that what you want? I asked you a question. Is that what you want? I thought not. What am I? Oh, I've been called all sorts of things. A werewolf, a shapeshifter, a demon. I've never been one to get hung up on labels. I know who I am, though, and that's more than enough for me. Now listen carefully, Poppet, because I only want to say this once. From this moment onward, you are mine. You're mine to love, mine to hold as I wish, just like this. That also means you're mine to punish as I see fit. I can shred your skin with my claws in a second. I could twist your limbs as easily as you twisted those flowers. The only reason I'm not is because I love you, and I don't want to hurt you. I'll only do it if you make me. Weren't you paying attention? Everyone's going to think you're dead. No one's going to look for you. Nobody's going to help you. And if they did, if you somehow managed to escape from me and went running for help, I'd just hunt you down and kill whoever saw you. Is that what you want? Those proud parents of yours choking on their own blood. The people in your village turned into food for the crows and ravens. All because you couldn't behave for me. I thought not. Shh. It's all right. You have nothing to worry about, as long as you're good for me. I know this is all overwhelming, but you'll see, our life together will be better than your old one ever was. Now, why don't I take you back to my cabin? I still need your help getting this blood off after all. And I'll need to clean the blood off your arms as well. Although, with how sweet you taste, I might not use water to do it.